Hey guys, what's up? So today I'm doing a quick impromptu unboxing. I may or may not plug into an amp depending on how this unboxing goes. But if I do, you'll get to hear my first impressions and see what this is all about. So let's get to it. Alright, so this box just came in from zZounds.com, and what it is a box. And it says ESP 50th anniversary on it. So that gives you a clue as to what it possibly could be. So let's just zoom through this and get through all the boring parts. Okay, so first up, it does come in a case, and the case seems to be wrapped in this protective thing. I've actually never seen this before. Kind of a interesting thing. So let me get that off. So yeah, case is super nice. It's the standard ESP case, and I'm just gonna open it up and show you what I got. So of course it's wrapped in its own protective thing here, but I'm gonna undo it and see how it looks. I literally never keep these cellulose protectors intact, like ever. Anyway, so here it is. It is the LTD MT-1. This is the Mick Thomson signature guitar with the Fishman Mick Thomson mini toggle. Everything looks clean, no damage. I would expect with the hard case. Just doing the once-over inspection here of the finish, all the little things, the frets, the nut, the bridge, hardware, everything Looks solid. So yeah, I mean, even, oh, that's just like a fingerprint or something, Very simple guitar, hip shot locking tuners, hip shot, high mass bridge. Simple, easy to go. I'm gonna, go ahead and go through and make sure it's set up how I like it. And then I'll plug into an amp over here and maybe give my first impressions on how it sounds. Stay tuned. So after doing the unboxing, I decided to take a day and actually go over this guitar with a fine-tooth comb, look it over, see if there's anything that I could even point out, as a first impression, kind of, finish, all that fun stuff. And I also wanted to let it kind of acclimate to my, setup here in my house. And I gotta say that without a doubt, this thing is pretty much flawless. The one I got here has nothing in terms of finish defects, no weird frets. I mean, I couldn't find anything. So, take that for what you will. It's a pretty simple setup, single pickup, all that fun stuff. I'm back here in my garage. I got it hooked up to the 6505. I got a few boost pedals up here. And I'm just gonna, give my first impressions on the sound, because all I've done so far is, play it through a couple plugins. Haven't really plugged it into a tube amp, and so let's see what I got. So, like I said before, this is a Fishman Mick Thomson signature pickup. I did a review of this pickup set, actually, a few months back, maybe even a year by now. I'll link that up here. And I went through the whole, shebang with this pickup type back then. I'll say the way they have it set up right now, they have it set up with voice 1 with a bass boost, and then voice 2 on this 3-way toggle. And then the push-pull here is the single coil voice 3 option for this pickup. Just like back when with the Fishman Mick Thomson, the bass boost function isn't super apparent. I don't have this tuned down. I don't have thick strings on this. This is still the stock strings. I just dropped it to drop D. If I had to guess what the bass boost was actually doing on the guitar, I would imagine the low frequencies are being expanded somehow. Or maybe on Voice One proper, there's just like a high pass filter that gets kind of turned off. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure if, listening back and listening and playing with this thing, if the middle position here is Voice One and then it's bass boost down, or if it's bass boost in the middle, if it's linear, I don't know. I'm going to verify by going into the control cavity here later, and I'll put up on the screen what is what. And so, I'll try to label it appropriately going forward. But for now, what I assume to be Voice One without the bass boost is this, and I'm on the clean channel. Pretty crunchy because this is a pretty high output pickup. If I go to what I assume to be the bass boost, yeah, switching between them, I don't really hear anything. Voice 2 is a bit different though. Definitely less output, a bit more bottom end, and not quite as mid forward. I'm trying to convince myself I'm hearing something, but switching between bass boosts and non-bass boosted. We'll see if I ever put thicker strings on this and I tune it down lower, maybe it'll become more apparent. But I'm going to go over to the crunch channel here, turn on my bright switch, and run it kind of how I would normally for high gain on the green channel. That's what I assume isn't bass boosted. Now let's go to what I think is maybe bass boosted. Yeah, I don't know. It's there's something there. I don't know. Maybe I'm just convincing myself that there's something there. If I go to Voice 2, bit different. Definitely rounder, a bit softer, and a little bit more of that kind of, I don't call it flubby, but it's definitely got a looser low and it's not quite as tight. I kind of like it actually. So typically what I like to do with this green channel with the crunch mode is I tend to like to run a tube screamer in front of it or some sort of overdrive or boost pedal. And right now I just have the TS9 on, and here's what I got with Voice One. Bass boost. Yeah, I don't know. Bass boost or not, maybe it's there. I roll over to something like the Tempest, the Fortin Tempest, a little bit more modern, a little bit more output. Yeah, that's like one of my favorite overdrives. It just has that nice mid-range character. It's a little bit less honky than the TS9. All right, so for good measure, I'm going to go over to the red channel on here. It's one of my favorite high gain channels of any amp. I think it's a little bit better than even the red channel on the EVH Stealth, although I tend to like the blue channel on the EVH Stealth a little bit better than the green Crunch channel here, just to kind of show you how aggressive this can really get. All right, so I'm over on the red channel. I'm running everything at 666, kind of like the standard thing. Got the presence up, the resonance up a little bit. And here's what I got. Voice 1, what I assume is no bass boost. Maybe a bass boost. And then voice 2. I really like the way voice 2 kind of softens up that mid-range and kind of gives a little bit more boom. I'm thinking that middle is the bass boost. I think I'm hearing something there. Maybe. The pickup's just tight all around. So I don't want to go on for too much longer, but I think this is just an immaculate guitar. The satin finish on the neck going all the way up through the headstock is really cool. The hip shot locking tuners, hip shot bridge, you know, stainless steel frets, Graphtec nut. I'm going to drop a link to the zZounds page where you can get this. If I had to give two preference kind of gripes, things that aren't even really gripes, I think that, you know, this electronic setup, I would prefer to have had, you know, voice 1, 2, and 3 on this toggle. And I think I would have liked to have had this push-pull be able to split the inner and outer coils, which is kind of, you know, what this pickup can do if you want to wire it that way. The other thing, I would have preferred to have like a spoke wheel truss rod adjustment here. I know Mick wanted this slanted thing to do like 23, 24 fret kind of offset thing. It looks cool. It's his preference, but those are my only two things that I would change on the guitar. Beyond that, I think Mick knew what he was doing going over to ESP and building this. Another cool thing, it comes with locking strap locks already built in. Comes with the strap locks. You just put them on your strap and they're ready to go. That's a cool feature. Comes with a case, a fitted case, ESP case, full on, like you saw it in the unboxing, it's there. Really cool. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of give my first impressions on this since I had the time to go through this and look at it for a day after unboxing it and present it to you guys. And so drop a comment, let me know what you think of this. If you want to, you know, maybe I should feature it sometime in another video here coming up soon. Again, want to thank zZounds.com for being awesome and working with me on some of this product stuff. So anyway, I'll see you guys later.